And now, when's the last time you had a beer
Oh, I had a beer, same meal as a burger.
to
A couple
celebrate?
beers. Yeah, a couple Blue Moons. Shout out
That's
Blue Moon.
that's amazing. I mean, I would wonder what that. I always like to see athletes after they accomplish something like that, and like that's an amazing accomplishment. And but to hear that's what you did, you went to a diner, and you were in that was New York, right?
That was in New York. The one thing I will say to kind of, give myself a little bit of a leeway is I had breakfast at like 10 or 11 o'clock before I, ran, and I ran at 4. So I hadn't eaten. Like we had that dinner at like 9 p.m. So I hadn't eaten since 10 o'clock. So like that's kind of why I got to the diner and I was already so hungry that like your body was like, oh, just whatever junk. So I just, burger, fries, milkshake, beers. So
But you're in Europe a lot because people don't understand, especially people listening to this show, that track and field, it's a staple in American like high school, college sports, but professionally, track's huge over in Europe.
oh, I
And
love it. Yep.
yeah, like you guys fill stadiums over there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean this Oslo Stadium I think is like 40,000 and it'll be full.
that's
It'll be
amazing.
full for the race. Yep.
That's what I hated about college track. I would go to the meets and I'm like, where are the fans? And they were like, there aren't any.
Yeah.
and I would go to all
What
these
fans?
I'd go to all these invitationals and they're like, yeah, this is it's just us. And
Yeah, I mean I got spoiled at Oregon.
oh yeah, because it's a popular sport there. It's like
Yeah.
you went Oregon. What is it? What is it? Oregon, Georgia, LSU. Who else
Yeah,
is?
Texas, Florida.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and Oregon had a great football team. So you were spoiled. You were very
100%.
spoiled. But so when you go to Europe, what about finding food over there?
I usually so I get creative. So my manager that I travel with, Robbie Hughes, he actually has come to all these places before, and so like tonight we went to Thai food. He's like, "Oh, there's this Thai restaurant. It's amazing." So we went there, and it was great.
Yeah,
Um, but mostly I'll eat in the hotels, like whatever the meat provides. Just like I said, the options are pretty widespread. So like if I want to eat super clean, like I can just have like some fruit and some rice and some chicken and fish and some veggies and call it a day, and eat as much as I want of it, right? So
Oslo loves. I've done stand up comedy in Oslo. I did a whole tour through Scandinavia. They love fingerling potatoes for some reason. They put it with every meal they fed me. I was like,
hey,
"What's
I
with
do
you?"
too. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that then.
When's your meet? When are you running?
I run on Thursday, so yeah, I got in this morning. I flew from New York on Monday, and it got me in 9 a.m. Tuesday, and then I slept all day, and so today's still Tuesday for me. It's 10 p.m. actually, which is crazy. Like I'm gonna turn my camera. Look how bright it is outside.
Oh yeah, I forgot it's like that over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's not
Yeah,
gonna get dark.
I've had that in Alaska. Well, I just read a thing. I don't know if you've ever listened to the Huberman podcast.
Hmm.
He's this guy that he's a doctor at the Stanford researcher, and he knows everything about everything. And he was just talking about resetting your circadian rhythm. And I think it takes two times of watching the sunrise and the sunset, and you're back on to normal. And it's like the best way
Hmm.
to get you back because I'm always freaked out when I have to tour, and I'm in a different. I go to Australia a lot to do shows, and when I get there, I'm so messed up. It's worse when I come back from Australia. It's not as bad when I go.
Hmm.
It's terrible when I come
Yeah,
back.
going west to east is worse.
Yeah, it destroys me. And I have a family, and I come back, and my kids are like, "Come on, Dad," and I'm like, ugh. So
Yeah.
I just read this thing. I'm going to go listen to the podcast about it, about resetting by like all you have to do is see the sunrise and sunset, and it's like you're back on. And because I hate that, I can't imagine having to like compete because like I just have to perform on stage, and it's not that physical.
Yeah.
But to having to compete with dealing with that throws in a different wrench. Uh, but my last question for you is, when you like my coach always used to talk to me about peaking, and I would suck at the beginning of the year, and all these guys would be killing me, and he'd be like, "Relax, relax, you'll see, you'll see." And by the end of the year, I was beating everybody when it mattered. Are you are you training to peak? And do you feel like right now you've still got a lot left to keep going?
Yeah, so I'm gonna answer that question in a sec. I'm gonna give you my little jet lag advice. Especially for what I do, right? You have to be and you're a stand-up comedian, so you're gonna be performing 4 hours a night, maybe if you do two shows. Um, I always just tell all the young guys when they come over here, just sleep when you're tired. Like you'd rather like not be tired and like be up all night and then like
Yeah.
go to sleep during the day and then like okay, I got to get up and go compete and kind of be like fresh-ish as opposed to like trying to like fight the sleep and then you go to sleep finally, but then you're on jet lag, so then you get up at 2 a.m. and you're up for 6 hours and you go back to sleep and then you really didn't get any sleep as opposed to like quality stuff. So yeah, just sleep when you're tired. That's my advice. But to answer your question, peaking, I think for me, it's not so much peaking, it's just feeling fresh and being in shape. So I guess the biggest thing is like fitness wise, I'm probably the best shape I've been in my life. So that's a good start. And then now it's just all about one being sharp in the event, like the hurdles. It takes a lot of races to feel good. I'm sure you probably felt the same. Like, you hurdled all year, and then towards the end of the year, you're like, okay, I got the rhythm down. And
Mhm.
that's the same for us. And even like race tempo reps, because like you can only do so much in practice. Like you can only mimic it so much. Um, which is why I'm over in Europe, about 15 days before 12 days before USA champs. Um, because I think it's more important to one, just kind of rest. Like I raced, I took Monday off, I took today off, I did a light warm up. Tomorrow I'll pre-meet and then I'll race and take a day off and then I'll race and then I'll fly back and then I'll kind of be off until USA. So I'm pretty much not doing any like intense volume, just like the most intense volume, right? Just like intensity as opposed to like racing, right?
Sure.
So racing is going to be my workout, and then being fresh is just my main goal. And I think by the time you get to USA's and then Worlds is 2.5 weeks after that, the biggest thing is just feeling good. Like if you're in good shape and you feel good, you're going to put yourself in a good position to do that. And I think there's a peaking component. Like my volume and training has gone way down in terms of just how much I'm doing, how many days I'm training, and stuff like that as well, which is pretty much a built-in peak.
How many meets are you running a year?
Usually I like to run in about 20 races, 20, 30 races.
And how many of
So
those are
like
indoor and how many are outdoor?
usually about 5 or 6 indoors, and then the rest, maybe up to 10 indoors, depend if I have a full indoor season, but then 20 outdoors. And I think I'm at like 8 or 9 events. Excuse me, 8 or 9 events right now.
So
So
you have that, and then when does it end? When does track season end that you get to like throw yourself into football?
July 17th is World Champs, so that'll be the final day, and then I'll be done. Then I
And
got to
then when
report to camp on the 26th of
26th of
July.
July.
Yeah,
That's early. I didn't know you guys report that early. Well, I mean, I'm already a fan of the Eagles because my father-in-law played for them, and I got to, you know, be with him when that was all going on when they got the Super Bowl, and I'm a Steelers fan foremost, but Eagles are number two for me now, and so I'll
good,
be
good, good.
watching you. I'm cheering for you, and I think you're going to break that world record. I mean, I'm sure of it. So I think that's incredible, and I want to see you win a gold medal. So that and I have something to tell you that's really. We used to have a thing called the Wodcast bump, and it was that whenever people would go on this show afterwards, all this good stuff would happen. So I think you got it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, shoot, I'll be on every week then. I'll see you next week.
So when you get that gold medal, or when you get that world record, I want you to get up there and be like, I just want to thank the Wodcast podcast because I know it was all them that did this.
Yeah, we have to do a retweet or a repost, and just put this clip in here. This clip here.
Let
So,
me ask you this one last thing. Any advice for a younger athlete?
advice for a younger athlete: play as many sports as you can, and make a lot of friends because that's what makes the sports more fun. When you can do it with people you enjoy, like being around and training like that. We sometimes we focus so much on the training we forget to walk around, Oslo and enjoy like downtown Oslo and cool places we go to and meet new people and then hang out with the people that we compete against and be friends. So I think that's really important.
Do you hang out with any of your competitors?
Yeah, yeah, often. Me, Grant, and Daniel are really good friends, and we're also the Americans, so we see each other a lot. And then in Europe as well, some of the guys like Andy Posey, David King, the British guys. And I say that like the Jamaicans too because they speak English. The first
Yeah.
language. Not that the other guys don't speak English, but you know their English is either not so good or it's just kind of broken. So we communicate as well as we can, and we're friendly to each other.
It's back in like I said, 2000. I started touring the world doing stand-up comedy, and one of the greatest things was getting to meet comedians all over the world, and I've made friends with them, and a lot of them come back here and become famous in America then, and it's just great. I have these lifelong friendships. And what you said, your advice you gave, is every book I've read on parenting athletes has said. Play every sport, don't specialize, and also make it about the friendships and the fun. And because when you win, you get that record or you win that event, that's ephemeral. That only lasts for a few seconds and a few minutes. But like the lifetime, the whole experience of the training and the being around your buddies and the teammate experiences and stuff like that, that's where the lifelong enjoyment is.
Most
So
important.
it's nice to hear you say that. And it's an honor to have had you on the show. I got to tell you, I've been a fan. I've been watching you. I don't know how I found you on Instagram, but I was like, "Oh, this guy's good. This guy's gonna.
It
This
worked
guy."
out. It worked
I,
out.
I've been watching you for years. I've been bugging you too to be on the show, and you were like blowing me off, blowing me off. And then you saw that video of my kids, and you were like, "Okay, that's funny."
Yeah, I love that. Well, no, I did love that, and like to be honest, you make a good point. And I said that to like some of the people in my DMs that ask me questions and all this stuff. It's just depends on the mood I'm in, really. Like some
Yeah.
kids will send me videos of them hurdling, and I'll go through like a full like 2 paragraph of critique. And sometimes I'll just ignore it. I'm not like it's not like I'm a bad person. It's just like sometimes I'm just like,
Dude, you're
I do
busy.
appreciate you reaching out again. Yeah,
You're a busy person. I get the same thing. I get guys sending me their stand up all the time and or scripts and
yeah,
can you help me? Can you give me advice? And sometimes I have time, sometimes I don't. And I give as much as I can because I want to give back, but you also have to focus on what you're doing because there'll be
sure.
time later for you to take care of other people. And it sounds like you already are, but uh, you know, just I need to see you, catching those touchdown passes and then going, "Thank you, Wodcast."
Yeah, thanks to the Wodcast. No, I appreciate you for having me on. Thanks for
So you'll
thanks
be
for and
living.
thanks for being patient too. I was an hour late just to know all the fans know.
That's okay. So you're gonna be living in Philly then, or are you gonna be living in Annapolis and going to Philly?
No, I'll be living in Philly.
All right. Well, when I'm there at Helium or Punchline, I'll send you a message. You come out to one of my
Oh, that'd
shows,
be
and
great. That'd be
yeah.
awesome. I'd love to. Actually, I'm a big stand-up comedy fan. Most recently, I've been like really obsessed with Chris Stefano
Oh, Chris is
comedy.
great.
He's
Chris is really
yeah.
funny. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so he's great. And then I actually listen to his like podcast as well. So Sal from the Impractical Jokers and those
Yeah.
guys too. I like that.
He does that
So
podcast with Joe DeRosa, a good friend of mine,
yeah,
where
yeah,
they
yep.
argue
That's
about food.
Taste
Yeah,
buds. Yep,
that's
I've heard that
hilarious.
one too. But yeah, so I would love to come to a show if you're in town.
Well, when you're in New York, you should have gone to Joe, who's on Taste Buds, owns his own. He owns his own sandwich place in New York
Oh
City.
damn. All right,
Yeah,
I'll go. I'll have to look that up. And I actually, now that you said that, I've heard them talking about it on the podcast.
yeah,
So
yeah. Those guys are all buddies of mine. So definitely, when I get to Philly, I'll let you know. Oh, in fact, I'm there in July. But I'll send you a message.
okay, awesome. Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
Hey, thanks for doing the show and good luck.
For sure.
All right.
All right.